You know that feeling? You're going through something, maybe something big, a really raw emotion,
Right.
or just a specific moment you want to capture, and you need a song that gets it right now. Like
Ah.
you feel the heartbreak maybe, or this burst of inspiration, but well, you're not a professional musician, are you? You can't just sit down and compose and write lyrics and build out a track.
Right. And mastering instruments. Forget
Yeah.
about it. That takes years.
Years. So traditionally, getting those really deep, specific feelings into actual original music, that's always been a huge task. Takes talent, training, maybe a whole team.
A massive undertaking, yeah.
But what if there's a surprising shortcut? What if our sources are showing us a way you could take that exact feeling, just describe it, like in plain English to an AI?
Uh-huh.
And in minutes, literally minutes, you get a whole song. I mean, lyrics, music, composition, even some by a voice that sounds incredibly... Well, actually, listen to this little bit from the AI song mentioned in the source.
Okay. Brief pause for implied audio clip.
Wow, okay, that sounds really like a proper singer. The music's polished, too.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The fidelity, the emotion AI can get now,
Yeah.
it's quite remarkable. And honestly,
Yeah.
a bit disruptive.
Disruptive is definitely the word. I mean, the source material doesn't hold back. It suggests this tech could seriously shake things up for musicians. There's even a phrase in there that basically means all current singers might be in trouble.
Yeah, strong words.
So, okay, our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. We're going to walk you through the exact steps, based on what the sources say, on how you actually create a song like that using AI.
Step by step.
And then, the big one. Can you really make money from these AI songs? Is monetization actually possible? Let's dive in and see what the sources lay out.
Okay, let's break it down. The source material gives us a pretty straightforward process. First step, and, arguably the heart of any song.
The lyrics.
Right, the words.
Mm.
And the source points out how tough that usually is, even for professional writers. For most people, finding the right words, making them fit the mood, that's hard.
Super hard. But that's where AI comes in, kind of levels the playing field. The main tool mentioned in our source, ChatGPT.
Ah, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And the process sounds surprisingly simple.
It really does. You just go to ChatGPT, type in a prompt describing what you need. The source had a great example, something like, my GF just broke up with me, so write breakup sad song lyrics. And it added details about the feeling, making it relatable.
Oh, you just tell it the theme, the emotion you're after.
Exactly. And the result. According to the source, it generates lyrics incredibly fast, like faster than some human writers known for speed. And the example lyrics they got were actually pretty good quality.
Wow, that speed is something else. Feeling to words in just moments, and if you don't quite like the first try.
The source notes you just ask ChatGPT to tweak it or rewrite it entirely. Simple. Once you've got lyrics you like, copy them. That's step one, basically. Your foundation is set.
Okay, lyrics done. Now step two, turning those words into, an actual song. With music and singing. Right. This is where the AI music generator comes in.
Right.
The specific one our source highlights is Sono.com. They call it one of the best AI music generators out there right now.
Sono.com. So what does it actually do with the lyrics I copied?
Well, it does pretty much everything else. It takes your text, it composes the melody, the harmony, generates all the background music, the instruments, and it even adds a synthesized voice that sings your lyrics. It handles the whole production side.
That's wild. Okay, so you go to Sono.com, sign up, I guess. The source mentioned using a Google ID makes it easy.
Yeah, that option's there. And then on their free plan, you get credits. The source says 100 credits each day.
100 credits. What does it get you?
Apparently, enough to create about 3 songs.
Yeah.
And the key thing is those credits refresh daily. So you can keep playing around, experimenting day after day without paying anything initially.
3 songs a day for free. That's a lot of potential right off the bat. So how do you start making the song itself?
You go to their Create area, paste in the lyrics from ChatGPT. Then, crucially, you add a bit of context for the AI, describe the tone or genre you want. Just like with the lyrics prompt, saying something like breakup sad song helps it nail the mood.
Got it. Lyrics in, description in, click create. How long does this magic take?
Just a couple of minutes, the source says. And here's a neat thing they pointed out. Sono.com actually generates 2 different versions, they call them variants, of your song at the same time from the same lyrics.
2 versions simultaneously. Why do they do that?
Saves time, probably. Gives you options right away without running the whole process again if the first one isn't quite what you wanted.
Smart. And thinking back to that breakup song example, The source said the second version they got was actually really good. Like, great composition, music felt real.
Yeah, exactly. It shows the potential for getting something genuinely listenable, maybe even multiple good takes from one go. And once you find a version you like, downloading it is easy, apparently just an MP3 file from a menu.
Okay, so creating a full song, start to finish, seems way more accessible than I thought. But the source also mentioned Sono.com isn't just for songs with singing, right? You can make instrumental music too.
Precisely. There's an option you can just toggle on instrumental.
Hmm.
Then you just give it a prompt describing the style. Things like a meditation instrumental song or maybe lo-fi instrumental song.
And it just spits out music, no vocals.
Exactly. Purely instrumental tracks focused on the mood and sound you asked for.
All right, so the creation part seems surprisingly doable. Getting the lyrics, getting the music, even just instrumentals. Fast, relatively simple using these AI tools. But then comes the really big question, the one the source spends a lot of time on, making money.
Yeah.
How do you actually monetize these AI songs?
Yeah, the million-dollar question, almost literally sometimes. Our source material lays out two main strategies for potentially earning income here.
Okay, strategy one.
Getting your songs onto the big music platforms where people actually listen.
You mean like Spotify, Apple Music,
Huh.
YouTube?
Exactly. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, GeoSolvent was mentioned too for some regions. The goal is simple. Get streams, because streams equal payments, eventually.
Okay, let's break that down. YouTube first. It's video, so how does that work? The source said it's pretty easy.
Yeah, relatively easy for YouTube.
Yeah.
But you need something visual. The source suggests using an AI image generator tools like Midjourney or Leonardo AI were mentioned as possibilities to create some cover art or a cool image that fits your song's vibe.
So you generate an image with AI too? Then what? Just slap it on the audio?
Pretty much. You use a basic video editor, take that single image, and just stretch it out, make it last for the whole song duration. The source even mentioned some big artists have released tracks like that, so it's a known format.
Like those static image music videos you see sometimes?
Exactly. Then you just upload that video file to your YouTube channel like any other video.
Okay, that covers YouTube. But what about the pure audio platforms? Spotify, Apple Music, GeoSolvent? You can't just upload your MP3 file directly to them, can you? I feel like I've heard that's not how it works.
You are absolutely right, and this is super important. The source really flags this. You cannot upload directly to those platforms yourself. It doesn't work that way.
So how do you get your song on Spotify then?
You need what's called a music distributor. They're like the gatekeepers, the middlemen.
A distributor, okay. Any examples mentioned?
Yeah, the source named a couple of popular ones, DistroKid and TuneCore.
Right, I've heard of those. So you use a service like DistroKid. What's the process like with them?
Generally, you sign up for an account with the distributor. You'll probably need to pick an artist. The source had a fun suggestion like TechCM AI Thinger or something, but
Sure.
you pick your own. Then you upload your AI song file to them.
Ah, so you upload it to the distributor, not Spotify.
Correct. The distributor then checks your song, makes sure everything's okay, and they handle sending it out to all the different streaming platforms. Spotify, Apple Music, GeoSolvent, dozens, sometimes hundreds of others. Usually takes a day or two, the source said.
And that's how you start getting streams and potentially money.
Exactly. The platforms track the streams, pay the royalties to your distributor, and the distributor collects it all and pays it out to you based on how much your song was played everywhere.
Now, the source mentioned looking at a Spotify calculator. What did that show about the actual money involved? Is it a gold mine?
Well, not exactly, especially at first. It really drives home the importance of scale. The force found that, yeah, a single stream pays practically nothing, tiny fractions of a cent.
Oof, okay.
But if your song were to get, say, 100,000 streams, then the payout starts to look much more significant. It shows you need volume. It's a numbers game.
Makes sense. And did the source say if all platforms pay the same?
No, they mentioned rates vary. Like Apple Music might pay a little more per stream than Spotify, maybe GeoSolvent a bit less. Spotify was described as kind of, okay, maybe middle of the road, but the principle is the same. More streams, more potential earnings.
Okay, so method one, distribute your song widely via a distributor. What was the second strategy the source identified?
Method 2 focuses back on YouTube, but targets really specific high-traffic niches, making meditation music videos or those popular lo-fi hip-hop study beats type videos.
Yeah. Those videos with the calming backgrounds that just loop for hours sometimes. They get insane view counts.
Exactly. The source specifically mentioned this, pointing out that some of these videos have hit 100 million views or even more. That's a huge potential audience looking for that kind of background content.
So how would you use AI for that kind of music?
This goes back to Sono.com's instrumental feature we talked
Mhm.
about. You'd use that, specifically telling the AI you want meditation instrumental or lo-fi instrumental, generate those purely musical tracks.
And then pair them with some chill visuals, maybe AI generated again or stock footage, upload to YouTube.
That's the model described. And the money here comes from standard YouTube monetization ad revenue, primarily. Because those genres can pull in so many views, the ad revenue can really add up if your video takes off.
Okay, interesting. Two distinct paths, wide song distribution or niche YouTube content. So we've got the how to create and the how to potentially monetize. But now we hit the
Yeah.
big asterisk, right? The thing everyone's probably wondering about. Can you actually monetize any song you make with these AI tools?
Is
Is it
it?
allowed?
You're right to pause there. This is probably the single most critical piece of information for anyone thinking about this seriously, and the source material is very clear on it.
Okay, lay it on us. What's the crucial detail?
It all comes down to one thing. You absolutely must read and understand the terms of service, TOS, of the specific AI music tool you're using. In this case, Sono.com.
The fine print, basically. Okay, so what do Sono.com's terms say according to the source?
They draw a very sharp line based on your account plan, music you create using the free plan. The source says their TOS explicitly states it cannot be used commercially.
Cannot be used commercially. So uploading a free plan song to Spotify through DistroKid or putting it on YouTube with ads on, that's a violation.
Exactly. It's a definite no-go, according to the source's reading of the terms.
Mm.
And it's not just that you wouldn't get paid. The source warns you could even get a copyright strike from Sono.com themselves for breaking their rules.
Whoa. Okay, that's a massive catch. So how is monetization possible at all then? What's the solution?
The solution, according to the source's findings on Sono.com's TOS, is simple. Music generated while you're on a paid plan is allowed for commercial use. That's the key.
Okay. There it is. You
Yeah.
have to pay for the tool if you want to make money from the output. Makes sense. What did the source say the paid plan costs?
It mentioned the paid plans for Sono.com start at $10 per month, which, for context, they noted is about 900 Indian rupees.
$10 a month. So the bottom line, based on what our sources tell us, is pretty straightforward. Yes, you can potentially monetize AI-generated music,
Yeah.
but only if you're paying for the service that created it, because that's usually what grants you the commercial rights according to their terms.
That's the absolute key takeaway. The
Uh-huh.
creation is incredibly accessible, maybe even free to experiment with. But turning it into a commercial product, that requires an investment, a subscription.
Which the source implies isn't necessarily a huge barrier. If a song actually took off, that $10 monthly fee could be covered pretty quickly, potentially leading to profit.
Right. It shifts the thinking. It's not about getting free stuff to sell. It's about licensing a powerful tool to create commercial assets. Understanding those terms is just step one before you even think about uploading anywhere.
Okay, so quite a journey we've covered here, from just needing a song to express something to using ChatGPT for lyrics, then Sono.com for the actual music and vocals, or even just instrumentals.
Yeah, the whole creation pipeline.
Then exploring the two main ways to potentially earn money distributing everywhere via distributors, or focusing on high-view YouTube niches like meditation or lo-fi.
The monetization strategy.
And finally, landing on that absolutely critical point, monetization hinges on using a paid plan from the AI tool to get the commercial rights, no shortcuts there,
Yeah.
based on the TOS.
The sources really paint a picture of like amazing creative power becoming available, but they ground it firmly in the reality that if you want to use it for business, you've got to follow the licensing rules and likely make an investment.
It is genuinely fascinating how AI has just flattened the barrier to entry for making music, but like this ease of creation raises some massive questions, doesn't it? And this is something for you, our listener, to really chew on. If anyone with an internet connection can generate decent, even good music so easily, what does that actually mean for the idea of being a musician?
Yeah, how do human artists stand out now?
Yeah.
Or adapt?
And from the other side, as listeners or for platforms like Spotify, how will we value AI music versus human music? Will we even be able to tell the difference consistently? Or will we care? What kinds of new opportunities or maybe even challenges does this open up for you personally, whether you're thinking about creating or just listening in this rapidly changing world of music?